Hello, my name is Martin. We're at the Science Museum again. And look at this. This is a waterfall. And Mickey Mouse better not be here. Like, if I see Mickey Mouse, when I see Mickey Mouse, I'm going to literally be mad. Man, walking on steps. Dude. I see water again. I mean, I was here in 2021 with Tesla, so, and Albert Einstein, so I kind of know what this is. Oh, we're following. It makes a lot of sense. Wait, is that a flamingo? What is that? Alright, let's see what this is. That's like a thingy. Man. I'm gonna walk around.
They're moving through the air next to the sparks coming from the Tesla coil to the light bulb, through half of the light bulb, and then when they come in contact with the volunteer's body, well, the volunteer's body has less resistance than the rest of the light bulb to air, so the electric charges begin to move through your body and down to the ground. So you are being an excellent conductor of electricity. How does it feel?
Wait, how do you zoom in?
Feels good. Alright, so that is something pretty cool that we can see about the electric force. Now I want to talk about some observations that we can make related to our hearing of the electric force. Can anybody hear the sounds that's coming out of the Tesla coils right now? A few people. Right now it's making a buzzing noise. It's been making the same buzzing noise the entire time I've had them on. The reason we're hearing this buzz come out of the machine is because we're hearing the pop of each individual spark that's coming out of the Tesla coil, which means that every single second we are hearing 120 pops all right next to each other, which to our ears, our brain comprehends as a buzzing noise. If we were to change the number of sparks per second or the number of pops per second, it would actually end up changing how this buzzing noise sounds. And that is exactly what we are going to experiment with next. I have two separate Tesla coils behind me to my right. These are two maybe 10-foot copper columns with silver donuts on top. These two Tesla coils have the ability to change the number of sparks per second coming out of the top. So what I'm going to do is do a little experiment. I'm going to incrementally increase the number of sparks per second coming out of these machines, and I want to see if you all can hear how that changes the buzzing noise. Before we get started, I will say that these Tesla coils are a lot bigger than the Tesla coils that I had on in the front of my stage. The sound they're going to make is going to be quite a bit louder. I'm going to put on my headphones. I recommend you all cover your ears. Let's see what happens. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Interesting. So what happens as the number of sparks per second increases? How does that change the sound out of the Tesla coil? You can shout out, but you know. It gets higher, yes, the pitch or the notes that's coming out of the Tesla coil changes. So by understanding how these machines work, by understanding that we can change the frequency, which then changes the sound, we can do some other pretty cool stuff. We can make things not like musical scales, but like actual music. Does anybody here want to hear a song? Yeah, all right. I will let you all choose which song we're going to play. We can either play a sci-fi classic, a video game favorite, or a popular pop song. Can I get a round of applause if you would like the sci-fi classic? Thank you. A round of applause if you would like to hear the video game favorite. And a round of applause if you would like to hear the popular pop song. Alright, the people have spoken and we are going to listen to a popular pop song. I'm going to put on my headphones. I recommend you all cover your ears. Feel free to take out your video cameras if you'd like, and feel free to dance along. Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
That's cool.
Everybody knows it's a top thing to be telescoped.
Yeah.
So, by changing the
Exactly. It's like a pop song, but you never see these specific songs.
Take It Off by Taylor Swift. Yes, my coworker who used to be in a punk rock band, she actually programmed the machine to be able to play the song, and she always follows up the song at her shows by saying that it proves you can be a scientist and a Swiftie at the same time. So we saw some pretty cool things with the machines that I have behind me. I do have one more thing that I want to talk about, and that is lightning safety. Because lightning doesn't just happen inside the sphere. We don't just see lightning happen inside of these strings behind me. But sometimes there's lightning storms in nature. Has anybody ever been in a lightning storm before?
Always.
A lot of us.
Oh, do this one last year, April 1st, 2023. When the dogs got out, during a thunderstorm, the dogs got scared. And also on the channel, I have a YouTube too.
People say inside.
I hear what it does a year ago.
If you can get inside the building, get inside the building. Because a lot of buildings are built in a way where there's conductive material like wires or pipes that move through the walls of the building. So if electric charge from a lightning bolt were to hit a house, it would move through those conductive materials in the walls and not through us as long as we were on the inside of the walls. But if we can't get to a car, any idea where the next best place to go is? You can shout it out. Maybe a car. Yeah, maybe you're thinking about a car. Yeah, if you can get inside of a car, that's another really great place to go. That's because of, any idea why cars are a good place to go? You can shout it out. Alright, I'm hearing two things. I'm hearing people say the metal, and I'm hearing people say the rubber tires. Let's start by talking about the rubber tires, because this is what I learned about when I was in school. I was told that because rubber is an insulator, that's a material that is the opposite of a conductor, a material that electric charge has a difficult time moving through. Because rubber tires are an insulator, lightning can't move through it. But it turns out that lightning is very strong. Lightning can actually move through miles and miles of a different, more insulating substance. Lightning moves through miles and miles of air before it even gets to the ground to our cars. So it's not the rubber of our tires that keeps us safe in cars, but perhaps it's something else like the metal that a few people mentioned. And that brings me to my current position. Perhaps a few very observant people in here notice that I'm currently raising myself up in a giant metal bird cage. I'm raising myself up to be the tallest thing inside of this theater next to the Van de Graaff generator, the big machine that we saw creating huge strikes of lightning at the beginning of the show. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand inside of this machine while I let those huge strikes of lightning hit this cage. Sounds like a good idea?
Yeah. I want to see it. I want to see what happens.
So we like to do science experiments. I will be the subject, and we're going to see if it is the metal that keeps us safe.
Oh, that'd be cool if I was there. It would
Right now, I'm going to turn our Van de Graaff generator on. I'm going to increase the voltage so that the lightning comes into the cage.
When they go in the cage, I was going to cage.
I'm going to cover my ears.
See what happens.
I recommend you all cover your ears.
I'm not scared of it, yeah. I'm not scared of it because I'll go to the cage if I was able to, right? Yes.
Yep.
both him when I go in a cage, when I go in a cage, and see what happens. That'd be cool, right? If I was in a cage.
That's when there's
That'd be
a
cool, right?
fast-moving, rapidly changing burst of energy like a lightning bolt. When it moves around an object that is surrounded by a conductive material like metal, it's going to move on the outer skin of that object. That's because those charges are pushing as far away from each other as they can get, which happens to be on the outside, not the inside of an enclosed object. So I was safe to touch the inside. I was safe to touch almost directly where the lightning was striking. However, if I put my hand through the bars or grabbed onto the outside, that would have been a shocking ending to the show. The skin effect is the reason why we're safe inside of cars. It's the reason why we're also safe inside of other vehicles that have been engineered intentionally for this effect. So things like buses, things like planes. It's also the reason why we're safe inside of things like trains. But that shouldn't surprise anybody, because we all know trains are full of great conductors. So we just did a lot today. We saw some pretty cool demonstrations with the different kinds of Tesla coils and Van generators that I have here. We learned a bit about lightning safety. The last thing that I said I would do is a Super Spark Spectacular, which I'm going to do to close out the show. During the Super Spark Spectacular, I'm going to turn on all the machines that you saw today, as well as another one on that side of the room, my left, in order to close out this program.
Wish I had my headphones.
You're free to stick around. You can ask questions if you have them. I will just ask that you stay off the stage, and I will come and talk to you.
I'm gonna
I'm going to cover up my ears. I recommend you all cover your ears, sit back, relax, and enjoy the symphony of sparks. Here we go.
It's kind of like going, I gotta get scared of that. It really does.
Go. 2, 1.
And then again, nice and controlled. I don't want this slipping off and hurting you.
No, you know why? I didn't use full strength.
Yeah.